se présenter Atamian Nedialkov, Bulgarie.
So Nedialkov first to go. But in fact, the gymnasts really just going through one more practice. They're taking no notice of the fact that they've been presented and told to start the competition. Now I think we're ready. Always trying to steal just one more run to get it right. This, though, is the real thing. Nedialkov, tall and slight. If he gets it right, it'll look good. So Yurchenko with a twist, landed it well. And there you see the 9.6 going up at the front. That's the tariff on the vault, and that's the highest tariff that you can get. The remaining 0.4 of a mark awarded for the virtuosity in the performance. Good landing from him. Could have got a bit more flight off the top of the horse, but concentrated on anchoring the landing and keeping the body position. Just had to pike down a little at the end. But not a bad vault at all. The round off onto the springboard, so he goes in facing backwards, making it the Yurchenko vault after the great Soviet women gymnast. The anxious wait, he knows that it felt good, but nothing went very wrong with it at all, and he just hopes that he's impressed the judges. .55 the score. So now what are we going to see for the second one? Just making sure that he'll get a good purchase on the top of the horse. Not very elegant, but the judges won't start marking until now. And a Kazumatsu. No round off that time. And on to parallel bars, Betty Aquino from the USA. Just finishing her exercise. The organizers promising they would wait to start the asymmetric bars until after the second vault, but as you can see, they're not really synchronizing with each other very well, which is not good for the spectators. You can't avoid activities going on together all over the arena in the all-around competition, or the earlier stages of this one where there were 5 pieces of apparatus, but really no excuse at all when you've got just one men's piece and one women's piece going on at the same time. Let's hope they get that sorted out, otherwise it's going to spoil your viewing of the competition. And a great shame, Betty Aquino, one of the new stars of women's gymnastics, came 4th in Indianapolis. And Betty Aquino going up first, which some would think of as a disadvantage, scoring 9.9. Now that is going to make it difficult for her opponents. Yo Hong-chul from Korea. 2 Koreans in this final. 9.375 the second vault of Nedeljkov, an average of 9.462. Now this is not the reigning world champion. This is his teammate, Yo Hong Chul. Again, built almost exactly the same. If anything, Yo Ok-yul, who is the world champion from Indianapolis, a bit stronger around the legs, but they're both very powerful. And look at that attack. Oh, and the flight off the top of the horse is magnificent. That's something they have certainly got right. Front-on approach. Now, was it half twist and back somersault, or front somersault into half twist? I think it's the Cuervo, but we'll have a look now. Turns round, and the back somersault off. That's the Cuervo. Gets in a half twist as soon as he comes off the top of the horse, and then back somersault. 1.5 out. Beautiful vault, slightly offline, but gets incredible flight. .737, that's because he was offline, I suspect. The vault judges leaving themselves somewhere to go.
Nous attendons l'autorisation pour le start numéro 58, Wang Junliu.
The Olympic Games in Seoul really gave the South Koreans a big fillip. Great interest in gymnastics now. Oh, and he's fallen on it. What a pity, putting the full twist in, making the vault much more complicated. And look at the disappointment on his face. Lu Li from China. New little Chinese gymnast. Lovely pirouette, lovely lines again. The Jaeger somersault, taken from the men's high bar. Super work. Lovely extension, the Kachu. Up to the dismount now. Oh, has to step forward. So difficult to get the turn that you need to do a double layout back somersault. No emotion on her face. 15 only this year, and just not quite enough speed in the turn or height from the apparatus to get round. But some wonderful work there from Lu Li.
Corée du Sud.
.875. In fact, they were misleading us that second vault because of the fall. Couldn't have possibly been that, and it was 9.225. So his score 9.481. Well, this looks to me like Yo Ok-yul. the defending world champion, it is. Which means that Li Jing from China has pulled out of the competition. Just a tiny step back on landing. Cuervo again. Technically very, very difficult. The mechanics of the turn so difficult makes this vault rated one of the most difficult. Getting that twist in so early. Just a tiny step backwards. But look at the flight off the top of the horse. Look how far he travels. .625. Well, they're certainly not giving marks away. Second somersault, and he licks his hands as if to say, well, I've got to do some work here if they're being that tough on me. 9.481 is what he has to beat. But that, of course, included a fall. Straight arm run, and he puts the twist in too and gets the landing. A big step back, so he'll be penalized for that, but it's an incredibly complicated vault, and the judges will take note of the fact that it was so difficult to perform when they decide how much they're going to mark him down. 1, 2 steps, they froze it a bit early. Very long, perhaps needed a little bit more height. Mirella Pasca goes to the asymmetric bars. Straight into the Jaeger somersault. Ginga somersault. Three release and catches there, all absolutely from the men's high bar. And the twisting double back to finish with. Full twisting double back to finish with. Does get more and more like it. Liu Li's score 9.875, and Yu Ok-yul, as we would expect, going into the lead. Oh, and he nearly got it wrong. So 2.5. Front somersault off the top of the horse, generated from the arms, of course. There he goes. 1, 2.5 to bring him back on his feet. Almost pitched for it. It's so difficult to stop the rotation on that vault. Korobczynski, one of the few people now capable of beating Yu Ok-yul, but he'll be marked down certainly for that. You really do have to generate so much rotation that it's very hard to keep it down. Pasca scoring 9.887, Korobczynski 9.65. Well, Yu Ok-yul scored higher on his second vault, scored 9.725 for that Cuervo with twist, and 9.625 for his first vault. So you can look at it two ways. Kotovchinski's either got a huge amount to do, or at least he's ahead of York Yule at this moment. Oh, and he'll be disappointed with that. Going offline as he came off the top of the horse. Straight position and under-rotated. The Kazumatsu in a straight position. Li Yifang from China. Lu Li in third place at the moment. Lovely flow always to the Chinese exercises on the asymmetric bars. And lovely exercise from Li Yifang. Just flows through it, glides through it. Good extension on the arms all the way through that Jaeger somersault. And Kotovchinski 9.587. This is Li Xiaoshuang. And again, he was short on the vault. So York Yule, the defending champion, still there at the moment. Cuervo from him, but having to really spin those arms around. Yes, that's a big mistake. Everybody feeling the pressure. The defending world champions come through it best. That second vault, 9.725, putting him in good stead. 9.587, the first vault from Li Xiaoshuang. All the chalk markings down there at the end of the runway. All the gymnasts mark it out as carefully as a long jumper would. It's absolutely essential they hit the springboard right. Oh. Well, so much movement in the air that he again couldn't control it. Got far too long, not enough height, but he needed the speed to get over it all. Same combination of vaults as York Yule. Cuervo's one with an extra twist in it. And this is Lavinia Milosevic, already up on the asymmetric bars. Long, lazy catch of good shape. Pull him back out. On the finish, Milosevic. Now the dismount, quite clearly getting the twist into the first somersault and then doing the second somersault clean. There's the release and catch. The Kachov, named after Alexander Kachov, the Russian high bar worker. And that lovely smile. Curtis Hibbert from Canada. Lee averaged 9.531. Hibbert doing something different here. Handspring. No, it's not. Sorry. 1.5 twisting Kazamatsu. Two twists in all, half before he goes onto the horse, and then 1.5 as he comes off it. Now, it really is still wide open, this men's final. And Milosevic goes into the lead, 9.95. Romania looking for their first gold at the moment. The USA have one, and the Hungarians have one. Smeskal on floor for the USA and Anodi for Hungary. Now, Curtis Hibbert, his second vault. And he lands it. It's a tiny bit low, but a good landing. Cuervo from him. The women coming so quickly after the men, the switch of apparatus. We'll have to catch up with that score in a minute. This is Julianne Monaco from Australia. Now, she's done incredibly well to get into this final. The Australians provided the huge surprise in Indianapolis as a team coming in 6th place, which was an incredible leap forward. Those long legs not quite able to get round quick enough to make the landing good, but great for the Australians to be up there with the best in the world and performing skills like that. That's the Jaeger somersault. A 17-year-old from Canberra, and she'll, I'm sure, be training at the Institute of Sport there in Australia, which is also in Canberra. Marius German from Romania. Marius German has been around a long time. Double twister. And Curtis Hibbert's average 9.581. So the Canadian getting into the medal positions. German finds it difficult to look really that neat, but he's a very, very talented vaulter. Been carrying the flag for Romanian men's gymnastics for some time. Whilst the women have won world team championships, the men have never been anywhere. Goes 4th at the moment. That doesn't really mean too much with 9.575. And German now, he needs something very special if he's to get in front of Curtis Hibbert. Just Victor Colon from Puerto Rico after this. Good height. Had plenty of time there to complete the flight. Kazumatsu with twist. This is Kristina Molnar from Hungary, the younger sister of Andrea Molnar. And Julianne Monico scored 9.8. Shoot front half twist. 16-year-old now. And Gehrmann's second vault, 9.512. The pirouette on top, the high bar. Kristina Molnar, one of two sisters, both internationals for Hungary. Victor Colom from Puerto Rico, first vault. A little bit low and a little bit sideways. But it's very good to see these smaller nations and relatively unknown gymnastics nations pushing gymnasts forward now who can get into the finals. It was for such a long time dominated by the big countries, so that you knew you were going to have a battle between the Soviets and the Chinese in the men's and the Romanians in the women's. Double twister again. I mean, so complicated, these vaults. And he's got it in, but he's too low, and he was going sideways from the moment he came off. So difficult to keep in a straight line. 9.862 for Kristina Molnar. And Gehrmann 9.532. 587, 9.587. Well, certainly the vault judges have been remarkably consistent. They've been tough on the gymnasts, picked up every fault, and they've marked it appropriately. And that one, the single twister, still has that maximum 9.6 tariff. And Kazumatsu. Kerri Strug from the USA. She's got to beat Lavinia Milosevic's 9.95 at the moment. That's the leading score. Lovely swing from the recatch on the Ginga somersault, able to continue very smoothly with the movement. Sometimes the girls tend to sort of drop back into the recatch. Berlin back out. And that was beautifully performed. These USA gymnasts are certainly very tough competitors. Bella Caroli really has got them into shape for the big competitions. Very anxious wait, but she must have been pleased with that. Bella Caroli striding around. He can never stand still. That's him behind the bushes in the background. Always pacing around anxiously. Well, if he's going to be beaten, I'm sure he'd rather it was by someone from his native country like Lavinia Milosevic than anybody else. Milosevic in the lead at the moment with Bediakino, another of Karolyi's gymnasts, in second place. The fatherly pat on the head. I'll go for a wander and see what they're doing about it. You just sit there, but well done. 9.85. And the last to go on the asymmetric bars, Tatiana Lysenko. And Lysenko made the final in Indianapolis, but had a bad time. Came off and scored only 8.2, so that's not at all indicative of her real performance. This time she'll be looking to put that right and set the record straight. Lysenko certainly capable, always capable, of taking gold. All in trouble. She was in trouble from the moment of the recatch on the Jaeger. The inward double front with half twist to finish with. Nice variation there from her. Here we see the trouble. Look at that. Hit her wrists. Managed somehow to re-grip there. I mean, she did so well to keep going and staying on. That is tough, tough competitive work from Tatiana Lysenko. Double front somersault and the half twist. Tatiana Gutsu commiserating. It's noticeable that the Soviet gymnasts now going on much longer in the sport than we used to see. Lysenko, 20 years old. Now the undergrasp, and look, she bashes her wrists, almost her elbows. Somehow she re-gripped, but then couldn't get the arms right for the recatch on the low bar. So a lot of mistakes, showing the tension up in those first two finals. The men's vault in particular, nobody really nailing two vaults in the way that they would have hoped. Now got the medal ceremonies for the two pieces. Back come the gymnasts for the medal ceremonies.
Cérémonie protocolaire. Saut de cheval. Champion du monde. 1992. Ok Yul Yu, Corée du Sud.
So the second man to retain the World Championship he won in Indianapolis. Yo Ok-yul from South Korea is once again the best vaulter in the world. Igor Korobczynski, the man who we thought would push him closest.
Turquie, Iber, Canada et Victor Colomb, Porto Rico.
And Curtis